Hello.
And to you, a good day.
I am like you. This is my first time.
We thank you.
Could you tell me where is my son and my nephew?
Not specifically.
Okay, thank you.
One moment. We will give you what in your Earth terminology is called an apology. This is not our domain. There is another that can help you. One moment. All we can share at this time is as a suggestion to seek communication from the domain of the sea. There is telepathic linkage that can occur through the co-species upon your planet that inhabit your ocean of dolphin energy. They can come in your dream. They can come in your physical reality. They can open up lines of communication to those that you seek. For it will open up lines of communication from you to yourself within your own heart. And along that heart line can you send out a particular frequency of vibration that will attract you in no uncertain terms into a direct interaction with those that you seek. But this is not, as you say, our allowance. It is not, as you say, our domain at this time. We bid you love.
Thank you very much, and I bid you love too.
We thank you. At this timing, allow us the expression of the idea that we have termed the legacy. Listen with all the different types of ears that you have. Take us on one level literally, take us not literally at all. For we are now entering a true phase of the construction of dream time. As we spoke before, the understanding is that you exist on an energy level. We exist on an energy level. All things are made of the same energy, but there are different frequencies. Our frequency of reality to you is the idea of dream reality, etheric reality. Many individuals upon your planet have referred to what you call extraterrestrial consciousness as Etherian consciousness, and this is to some degree quite accurate. It is why it is in many ways easier for us to communicate with you in this way than using what you may call your physiological radio devices, for we operate on that frequency not at all. Biological senders and receivers are far more apt in that way once they are trained to identify with the energy of love in that sense and acceptance. The energy of light links all mentality. And you are linked not only to every member in your own civilization, but to all other civilizations as well, and sometimes in very specific ways to play out very specific ideas. We have been allowed at times to briefly discuss with you some of the notions now for some of the interactions taking place upon your planet that you have called in your language abductions, which we have chosen to call temporary detainments. We have reminded you that these interactions between your species and the alien species we have referred to as Zeta Reticulum are done through absolute agreement, even though on your part many of these agreements may be done unconsciously, and they are only brought to the surface reluctantly through the idea of the release of your fear. But you are serving each other in many ways. We have briefly discussed the understanding, as many of you yourselves are now beginning to realize, that your species operates on a very highly individualistic level, that their species operates on a very highly mass consciousness level, and that to each other you are extremely alien, extremely foreign. And just as much difficulty as you have had understanding the idea of how it is to operate as one consciousness, they have the difficulty of understanding what it is to operate as a single individual cut off from the whole. In many ways, though they do not express it in exactly the same way, they have just as much fear and uncertainty about you as you do about them. You are learning to understand each other, and in understanding and blending with each other, you are performing services for each other. You are boosting and supporting each other's societies. You are aiding in each other's transformations. You are giving them what they need. They are giving you what you need, in that sense, to mature as a species, even as you allow them to mature as a species. They have come from a completely different direction in evolution. You have come from a completely different direction in evolution than each other. You are true polarities on many different levels, but now, through these interactions, through these givings, through these sharings, whether they are understandable on the surface or not, you have begun a true blending in many ways that will allow you both to mature, both to interact, both to become fast friends side by side in your expansion and exploration of the universe in many ways that you cannot yet understand, but in many ways that you will understand in the time to come. We have shared with you many times the arbitrary nomenclature that in many ways we have the existence of our evolution approximately 150 to 300 years beyond you. We have told you many times, in many cases, that this is an arbitrary nomenclature, and we will now endeavor to define and precisely explain the relative frequency of the time span of your reality and our reality. For there will be a seemingly time, a temporal paradox in what we are about to explain about your connection to us. It has already occurred to some of you. It has not occurred, quite surprisingly, to a lot of you. Once again, in many ways, what we are about to say you can take in many ways, on many levels, very literally. But understand it is also archetypal energy, the substream consciousness of your realm, of our realm, of their realm, the Zeta Reticulum. We have told you in many ways that we are the representation of your own future selves. And in many ways that is allegorical. In many ways it is quite literal. Reincarnationally speaking, and also as a representation of the parallel type of civilization you yourselves will create upon Earth. But there is one other way that we also mean it, that we have not really shared with you. For it actually has not occurred to actually quite a large number of you, that even as we have endeavored to describe our physical reality, our physical appearance, you understand that we are an exact cross between the idea of your human shape and your Zeta Reticulum. We are the children of the blending. We are the hybrids that you are creating. We are your future selves, and come back to remind you that there is a marriage going on that gives us reality, that supports us. You are, in many ways, our fathers and our mothers, and we are your children. And we send you our love across the ages. The idea of understanding is that this blending is taking place in your time frame, and that an evolution does occur where there is the population of our world in another dimension by the crossbreeding of what you call the reticulum and the earth human. And we are that population. And that is why we have remained in that other dimension, so that we would not interfere with the marriage that is taking place, so that we would not interfere with the consummation of that marriage, so that we would not interfere, in that sense, with your right to experience our birth from your own point of view. But now, because of the timing and because of the sharing, we can be allowed at this time with great joy to share with you that we greet you as your children. And we thank you for allowing us to reflect back to you the brilliant trust you have placed in us, the brilliant future you have given yourselves, and the brilliant present you have bequeathed unto us. There are many more levels to this idea, and we will share those in time as well. But understand that there is a distinct purpose in the creation of our species by the blending of yours and the reticulum. You are creating the future you desire in many ways. And do remember one other thing. Another thing that many of you sometimes do not stop to realize. In what we call our present, we are also side by side with your future Earth. And we interact together in joy, in harmony, in love. You are our legacy as much as we are yours. Our love to you. We thank you for your blessing. We thank you for your strength. And we thank you for your love and our life and our joy. And we only give you back what you have given us in allowing us to exist as we do. Infinite creation, dream you into ecstatic creations of reality forever and ever. Shivai.